Hey guys, what's up my YouTube family? I just wanted to turn on the camera and talk to you for a second. We had an event tonight at church, Women's Ministries event tonight. It's called the annual Mother, Daughter, Sister, Friend Dinner Out. And once a year we get all the ladies from church together and we pick a restaurant and we will call them and tell them how many people we're expecting to have and ask them what their prices are. And so usually my friend who just passed away is in charge of this dinner, and she of course passed away. So it was up to me and one other lady to plan this whole thing, and I was just stressed out because I because the problem is that we usually have this dinner out in May, and it was in late April when we started talking about this, so we didn't have a lot of time to plan this thing out. We didn't have a whole lot of time to, contact people and schedule things, and it felt very rushed and hurried, and I just was not up for that task. Um, but a dear friend of mine at the church, um, uh, she is just wonderful, and she kind of decided she would have to shoulder that responsibility for me this year, and she did a great job. We went to a restaurant in town and had a wonderful meal. They had a buffet there. A lot of us did the buffet. They had fried chicken. They had ham. They had roast beef. They had mashed potatoes and gravy. They had corn, they had green beans, they had a full salad bar, and it just turned out really, really great. And it feels good to kind of have this checked off my list of responsibilities for the year, because I think if I had been appointed in charge of women's meetings and stuff back in September, October, I would have had sufficient time to call restaurants, get prices, all that stuff. But this had to be done within like 2 weeks of us deciding to do it. So it was a very hurried thing, and I felt stressed about that. But my friend just decided she would kind of just call places, and I called a few places, she called a few places, and we agreed on the place, and we decided, what, let's just go ahead and just do it. We'll just have it at this restaurant. They've already offered to host us, and we'll just have it here. And it was just, she had it all set up for me. And people like that are a blessing. And if you have someone in your life who comes alongside you when you most need it and says, I'll take over this for you, or I'll help you with this, or I'll handle this problem for you, or whatever, treasure them, because they are indeed a blessing. And this woman is very, very humble, and, she doesn't give herself pats on the back. She's not self-congratulatory. But I tried to really express to her how much it meant to me that she was willing to take on this huge responsibility for me, because it was so late in deciding to do it that there just wasn't a lot of time. And we couldn't get a solid answer from a lot of ladies about what they wanted to do. They just said, it's up to you guys. So we just did it. But it turned out so well. We had a good turnout, good number of women came out, and we had a wonderful time, a wonderful evening. And forgive how I look. My car's air conditioning is not working. So I'm having to drive the windows down, which is not a problem, but my hair, of course, becomes a humongous mess by the time I'm home. My hair is a big tangled mess. So I just wet it down and tried to make it look halfway decent, but it's just not cooperating tonight. It's just not going to happen tonight. So forgive how I look. But I just got home a little bit ago from that, and we had a wonderful time. The food was great. The conversation was great. And, sorry about that. I had a notification on my phone. But, I'm turning my sound off, actually. There you go. But yeah, I just want to tell you guys we had a wonderful time. And now the only thing I'm in charge of is the monthly ladies meetings. Next one we're having is in late June. And so that one, and we already have somebody who's offered to do the devotional for that meeting. So all I have to worry about is like what food to have people bring, and if I'm going to have any decorations available, just that kind of thing. So this is a huge weight off my shoulders, and I didn't tell her, hey, I need you to do this for me, but she offered. She just, you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and pick a place and a date and a time, and we're just gonna go with that. And I'm like, that's fine. That's fine. So she offered to help me with this. She offered to work with me on this, and then she made the final decision. And so I think it's important to delegate responsibility and have people that you can trust to handle things like this. And she just did a fantastic job, and I've known her for many years. Her daughter and I kind of grew up knowing each other, and we're kind of, acquaintances and friends, and so I've known her for a long time. And I just want to share with you how good tonight was, how great it went. But driving to the restaurant, it was around 4 o'clock when I drove there. Of course, it was the hottest part of the day. And so the sun was just beating down. I had a bottle of water in the car, and so that helped. And I bought a scarf at Dollar Tree to wear around my head to keep my hair from blowing all over my face. And so I'm doing what I can to survive the summer without the car AC, because we just can't afford to fix it. It's just the parts are going to cost too much. We just can't afford to fix the AC, and I understand that. And so I'm just doing the best I can without it. But I apologize for how I look. But I just got home, wet my hair down, tried to make it look decent, but ain't gonna happen tonight. But we had a good time, and so. And while I was in town, I stopped by and surprised my dad and Lois, and gave them a hug. My dad, when I first got there, Lois told me that my dad's youngest grandson was in a school play, I think, and my dad was there as his grandpa to watch him perform in this play. Well, apparently, a few minutes before the play started, he accidentally tripped and fell, hit his head on a chair, and cut his head open and has a huge gash on his head. And they were taking him to the hospital when I left. So I'm going to text my brother and see how the grandson is doing, see how his son's doing. And so I feel so bad. I've been there as a kid and tripped and fell and lost a lot of blood and been, just traumatized by it. And so I feel bad for him, the poor little guy. I'm not sure how old he is. I think he's at least between 8 and 10 years old. It's not like he's a little baby, but still, it's a traumatic thing for a kid. So, I'm gonna text my brother and see how his son's doing, what the doctor says, and how deep the cut is on his head, if he's all right, that kind of thing. But that was sad to hear about. I went to my dad's house to surprise him and Lois. And Lois was the only one there, and she said, "Well, your dad's at his grandson's play." And right when she said that, he called her and told her that he had fallen and cut his head open on the chair and was losing a good amount of blood, and they were taking him to the ER. So, but yeah, that was kind of sad to hear. But I just want to just update you guys about tonight, how it went. It went great. It's good to see my dad and Lois perform at home, and so yeah, it was very, very hot ride there, but it was a nice cool ride home because the sun was going down, it's cooling down, and nice ride home. So I'm gonna go ahead and go. I love you guys, and I'll see you next time I make a video, whenever that will be. Mwah.